On April 14, 1912, the world witnessed one of history's most tragic maritime disasters, forever changing how we view human ambition and technological progress. The RMS Titanic, crowned as the largest and most luxurious ship ever built, became a symbol of both human achievement and hubris. This is the story of how a unsinkable ship met its fate in the cold waters of the North Atlantic. In the early 1900s, the White Star Line sought to dominate the competitive transatlantic shipping industry. Their answer was the Titanic, a marvel of engineering that took 3 years to build in Belfast, Ireland. At 882 feet long and weighing 46,028 tons, she was a floating palace that pushed the boundaries of shipbuilding technology. The ship's luxury was unprecedented. First-class passengers enjoyed amenities like a swimming pool, Turkish baths, and a grand staircase that would later become iconic. The ship even had its own newspaper printed daily. But beneath this opulence lay a fatal flaw. There were only 20 lifeboats for over 200 passengers and crew. On April 10, 1912, Titanic departed Southampton on her maiden voyage. The passenger list read like a who's who of early 20th century society. John Jacob Astor IV, the world's richest man, was aboard along with industrial tycoons and aristocrats. But the majority of passengers were ordinary people, many seeking new lives in America. 4 days into the voyage, at 11:40 p.m., lookout Frederick Fleet spotted an iceberg dead ahead. Despite efforts to turn the ship, Titanic's starboard side scraped along the ice, creating a series of fatal punctures below the waterline. The unsinkable ship had met her match. What followed was a tragedy of errors. The evacuation was chaotic and poorly managed. The women and children first protocol was inconsistently applied. Some lifeboats were launched half empty, while others were overcrowded. The stark reality of class division became evident. While 62% of first-class passengers survived, only 25% of third-class passengers made it. As the ship's bow plunged deeper into the freezing Atlantic, the band famously continued playing. At 2:20 a.m. on April 15th, Titanic's lights flickered one last time before she broke in two and disappeared beneath the waves. Over 1,500 people perished in waters so cold that survival lasted only minutes. The disaster led to major reforms in maritime safety. The International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea was established, requiring sufficient lifeboats for all passengers, 24-hour radio communications, and regular safety drills. These regulations still govern seafaring vessels today. For 73 years, Titanic lay undisturbed in her watery grave until oceanographer Robert Ballard discovered the wreck in 1985. The discovery reignited public fascination with the disaster, leading to James Cameron's 1997 blockbuster film that brought the tragedy to life for a new generation. Today, the Titanic continues to captivate our imagination, not just as a disaster, but as a metaphor for the dangers of overconfidence and the importance of humility in the face of nature's power. The ship's legacy lives on in museums, memorials, and the hearts of those who still tell her story, reminding us that sometimes the greatest technological achievements can lead to the most profound human tragedies. The Titanic wasn't just a ship that sank. It was a moment that changed history, challenging our assumptions about progress and teaching us lessons that remain relevant over a century later. In the end, perhaps the most enduring legacy of the Titanic is not the disaster itself, but how it transformed maritime safety and reminded us of our own mortality.